Today is October 21st, 2022, and drawdown. I need to explore more about drawdowns as that essentially. So stock market is like 50-50. Okay, it's 50-50 for me right now. The reason why it's 50-50 is because the trades that I make can be good or bad. Either it's both ways. I may be influenced that may alter the direction where I'm choosing to go. And that's very possible because if I were to look at the news, I would be like focused on doing what majority of people would be doing. Right? So considering that I'm a 50-50 trader, there's three scenarios that I need to figure this out. And one of them is essentially if the trade, just like today, I saw Boeing. Boeing was like, it's fortunate that I woke up late. I didn't go to sleep until 3 o'clock. The food I ate was like, oh, yeah. Ooh. Oh, yeah. So I woke up and Boeing initially already had spiked up along with a lot of the other stocks. And apparently Snap, which is a small company, has a big influence in the software industry, IT industry. And what it did was it started to decline. And when I looked at it, Boeing had retraced. Win had already retraced. And I've noticed that there was a large green spike that occurred, which means that maybe there was a reversal. So I got into Boeing first, and then I got into Win after thinking about the fundamentals of Win, essentially. Let's put it this way. If Macau lifts its ban on COVID closures, it's going to jump about 20%. Instantly in 2 to 3 days. That's all it's going to take. That's how it works. So fundamentally speaking, the earnings have already come out for Win. So that's why I'm riding on that coattail of the fundamental wave that's underneath, that's there. So, and then I got into Boeing, but Boeing dipped about 0.5 R, and I was about to cut it. Because that's what I need to do. When I look at a stock as a professional, I've seen other professionals do this. They get immediately very, very upset. They get immediately awoken to the fact that they've hit it, and so they just get out because they're able to select stocks on a higher percentage level and at a greater and a massive amount of win to overcome and compensate for the dry runs that they have. Cheetahs, if they chase a food for about 10 times, they'll make 1 or 2 successes. 8 out of 10 times they'll lose. So for them, they have to have a higher percentage of the returns. Essentially, that's what it is, to the expenditure of their energy. So they cut immediately. And so for me, I'm looking at myself and I'm trying to analyze what's going on. And had it dropped it would have been a tough day for me too. However, it dropped quite a bit. And so it allowed me to make the trade and wait a little bit longer and be more patient with my trade, even though my thesis was incorrect. Because it was incorrect by 0.5 R. So, fortunately for me, Win was moving in the right direction, and the fundamental underlying reasoning is very helpful in determining what to do on a technical basis on an intraday. Now that I've set the foundation, this is now I have now exited Earth's orbit. Meaning that initially shooting a rocket up into space and coming back, it requires lots of effort, lots of effort, lots of effort, lots of effort. And then there is a point where I poke right through the gravitational pull of the Earth, and then get into space. And essentially making progress. That's what it means. It means making progress. So the concept of drawdown is a very, very, very complex matter. It is. It is for me right now. Drawdown is a very complex matter. For professionals, it seems like they see it and they're just out. Because their thesis is completely wrong and say, this trade is a scratch. That's what they're saying. That's what the professionals, what they do is they get in and then it reverses, they're out. They know it because they already thought about what's going to happen. They thought about, this is the reason why I'm in, this is the reason I'm getting out. They thought about it, and that's what they're saying. I'm out of this trade. That's what they do, and that's what they think. They formatted, they planned, and it's out. They're done completely. It's over. So drawdown is a very, very interesting concept. And so Boeing had hit 0.5R, and I'm thinking, okay, so what should I do? It's because it's fluttering around. And what I need to do is make sure within a certain time period, the trade goes in my direction. Otherwise, I have to exit. Because any news can pop up that could cause the change in the behavior of it, because I did not get in to ride the side waves. I did not get into a trade to ride the side. Essentially, that's what it means. So the concept of drawdown is a fundamentally important thing. Understanding how that works and then moving into figuring out what the best setups are, that is a higher level of understanding. So I have this drawdown. I have at the point where I'm looking at the stock that's moving sideways after I get in. It's noise. It's flying around the noise. Why should I be in it? Because it could do anything, because my thesis was incorrect. I was hoping when I got in that it's going to reverse and then start to uptrend, right? So that is the fundamental, that is the thinking that I have. But if it turns out, because there's a flag pattern drops and then drop. I could be in this little area and my read of the reversal may not be correct, and then I would be losing further. So this is a very, very fascinating concept. Drawdown is a very, very fascinating thing. That's on the flip side of how much gain I have. Okay, so what is it telling me when I made this much money? Should I get out, or is there a certain reason that's keeping me in? So that's why there's a thing called reason to buy and reason to sell. These individuals at S&P Capital, they really know what they're doing. I'm going to save some money. I'm going to make some money, and I'm going to just sign up for it. As soon as I make this much money, I'll take that money, I'll put it in there, and I'll buy it. Because it's a multiplicative. What they do is multiplicative. It's like times 10 kind of things that is. Mike Bellafiore told me this. Initially, when there's this guy named, there's this guy who used to make like $4,000 a month, or $4,000 to $8,000 a month, and then something happened and they just dramatically improved. Or they're talking about like becoming a green shirt trader or things like that, right? And finally become a black shirt trader. So I'm thinking to myself, and I'm watching things, and so these are things that I need to consider as I develop into it. It's not. So I've entered into this day trading world before I was like window shopping, right? That's essentially what I'm doing. If I have a full-time job and I'm not committed to this day trading thing, it requires a full-time commitment to make money and progress. Unless you're a genius. Well, there's quite a few geniuses out there. I work with a few geniuses. Their IQ is incredibly high. Their IQ is very high. The difference between their IQ is very high. They can pick things up. For me, the lower than average individual who must study and be compassionate about it and be living in the environment for a long time to figure something out. So these are the triad of things. Initially, right now, I'm I'm most likely just a 50-50 trader right now. I'm a 50-50 trader right now. And what I need to do is make my losses small. And then when it's going sideways, get out and then break even. And then when I'm making it, when I'm in the right trade, boy, I need to make it. That's how that's how it will be for now until a certain period. And then at this period, at the point where I've attained A plus trade, that A plus trade would dramatically change the way that I trade, so that the 50% rate will be different. And my winning streak will be higher, consistently higher. And at that point, when I'm consistently higher, I will be able to make consistent money. And when I make consistent money, I can leverage up. I can leverage up. I can leverage up. And that's where big parabolic moves in earnings curves occur. That's where it is. I've seen a lot of the professionals do that. They've gotten to the point where they're doing this now. They got it. They figured it out, right? Yeah.